Well, g'day everyone. Big number 10, the Cellar number 10. Jose, we got here.
Amazing. Thank you everyone for keeping an eye on our videos and supporting what we do, and we try to keep it always innovative and entertaining.
Entertaining, yeah.
And this time we bring something very, very good for our 10th edition.
The 10th edition special. So we've brought out a couple of really special bottles that we wouldn't do if it wasn't a very special episode. And both bottles actually of whiskey have sort of a 10 involved with them, which is pretty special. The first one being a Artist 10 Bunnahabhain from their 10th release of the Artist series.
Yes, so we have not had a tasting of this bad boy yet,
No.
but we will do soon. But we have decided that we would like to pre-release some. This is a big collector's piece, great whiskey for drinking, and not for keeping for later drinking. Bunnahabhain first fill sherry cask, that big, deep, rich, single malt from Islay, matured. This one is actually 12 years old. 11 years old. Yeah. A 67.1, a monster
It's a
of
huge
ABV.
I mean, Bunnahabhain spirit is fairly wild and fiery, but put in this first fill sherry cask, it just mellows it beautifully. So you get the amazing fieriness of the Bunnahabhain spirit, and that sort of balances exceptionally well with the sherry. So it's going to be a great one. Only 2 bottles of those getting released just for the cellar, and I don't think that they'll last long.
Yeah.
The second bottle that we're putting up is a few of our 10th anniversary Sullivan's Coves.
So we have dig a little bit into the cellar and decided another way to reward our customers, and it's to make another 3 bottles of our 10th anniversary Sullivan's Cove 14 years old refilled whiskey cask available for sale. So
So these ones you'll get the bottle, which is amazing. We tasted it last year a few times for those who are in the 10th anniversary tastings. Just an exceptional Sullivan's Cove showcases their spirit really beautifully, and their sort of traditional distillery characteristics in there of beautiful gingerness and biscuity shortbread, lots of toffee, just a gorgeous 14-year-old Sullivan's Cove. So 3 of those, and for the 3 that we sell with the cellar, we're also going to throw in for free, or as part of the purchase, a 30ml sample as well. So that way you can have a little try of the 30ml sample.
So this is again another opportunity for those collectors that would like to purchase, but you never sure. Sometimes you buy a bottle to keep for a few years, and this time we'll send you a sample of the Sullivan's Cove for free. So you can get to taste the whiskey, and we don't need to wait too many years without tasting it before you open it. Yeah,
that's exactly right. So 2 cracking whiskies there, unbelievable, and I'm sure they're going to go super fast. In terms of the samples, we wanted to go just as big for this 10th cellar, so we've gone for 2 really special ones. I don't have the bottles here; they're being sampled up, but the whiskies are a Springbank 1999 bottled for
Whiskey Kanzler. Is a refill sherry butt.
Yeah. So Whiskey Kanzler, a German
independent bottler. Yeah. It's a shop too. Yeah.
And known for, particularly in the early sort of 2010s, doing some absolutely sensational bottlings, of which this is one. It's a Springbank 14-year-old single cask, single sherry cask, at 54.8, and I'll pop the bottle up on the screen there as well, so you can have a look at the bottle, and the artwork on the bottle is sensational. Yeah, I think we've only got about 4 of those little Springbank samples there, so they'll probably go quickly as well. What a sensational opportunity to try that whiskey it'll be. The second sample we've got is a Strathmill 1977 by first cask, and it's a 27-year-old. And I mean, Strathmill, I guess we probably don't see a lot from. They're a massive blending component for Diageo's blends. But
this is a great opportunity to taste the distillery, and also from the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. 70s.
Right? This is a bourbon cask, so it's very floral and pretty, with a little bit of dust in the citrus, and sensational bottle to taste a whiskey of the past. So another great
sample there.
Great sample, from our cellar.
A couple of big ones there. On the wine front, we've brought out something a little bit newer, and then something with a 10 in it, as is customary for our 10th edition. So the first one with a little bit of age is this Barolo from 2010, Leon Reserva, an absolute cracking Barolo. One that's probably...
Riverdito.
How would you say?
Riverdito.
Oh yes, Riverdito.
Rivetto.
Is the winery.
Yeah, Rivetto is the winery.
And that'll be sensational. It's probably got a little bit of cellaring left on it as well. You could probably...
Barolo, can hold for a long time. Is that traditional Taron roses, which is almost been a very Pinot-esque, with not so much acidity, but a lot more tannin structure. This is a beautiful wine that doesn't even require any food. You just sit down and enjoy the aromatics, the violets, the dark tart chocolate of Barolo, and those dry tannins that are very, very nice, and not a heavy wine.
Yeah, that's a bit of a meal in itself, Barolo.
Yeah.
Huh? The second wine today is a slightly newer one that we've just got into the cellar. It's called Kung Fu Malbec, and it is by Riccatelli Wines in Mendoza. They're quite high altitude is one of the points of difference between them and a lot of the other Malbec coming out of the region. And they, instead of doing an aging in barrel, they use big concrete eggs. It's all natural ferment. There's no sulfates in there, and all native yeasts. And it's super duper pretty. Lots of the fruit comes through really strong, and it's great drinking.
It's wine. Like if like a Beaujolais style for Malbec or something like that. Very bright, very pretty. Yeah. It has a hue of Ribena, if you see, really, really, really aromatic wine, and fruit forward.
Super fruit forward. And when I was having a little sample of this one a couple of weeks ago, I thought to myself, what that'd go really well with, Jose?
What?
Peking duck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a little bit of Peking duck, maybe Peking duck pancakes.
Oh.
Sit there, a little bit of barbecue sauce, one of these. I reckon that would be the absolute
fantastic.
go. Yeah. So that's the wine that's come out in the cellar this week. Now, that's it for the bottles we're pulling out for the cellar, for the newsletter. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about the tasting we've got coming up, which is the Legend of Cahuilla tasting, and it is one that I'm super duper excited for. We've been falling in love with Cahuilla a little bit more over the last couple of months, trying some sensational bottles from them, and so we really wanted to do a distillery showcase of some really interesting different casks. So we've got 6 different whiskies from Cahuilla, ranging from right across the spectrum of casks and age. And it should be a cracking tasting. Yeah,
amazing. And I'm very excited about this tasting because we're tasting perhaps the oldest Cahuilla we have ever tasted since we're doing these online tastings. 34-year-old Cahuilla, bottled by our friends in Germany, Finest Whisky. Only a total production of 52 bottles of this 1983 Cahuilla. I had a taste of this, and I must say this is the best whiskey I've tried this year by far. It's a big statement, and it's stunning, not to be missed. This is a very, very, very special whiskey.
Mm-hmm. It's super exciting. That one, along with an Artist 6, so going back a fair while there, Cahuilla. 2 of the Le Maison de Whisky recent releases, The Suspect and The Accomplice, a Burgundy wine.
Wine finish. Yes.
And an Exor Turns, as well as a
Artist Collective.
The
Artist Collective, 7-year-old. This one is also matured in a wine cask, as well as the 2 the usual suspects.
Yep.
So it's a great lineup of old and new Caligula, wine cask, bourbon cask. It's going to be just a joy of Pete.
Yeah, it's going to be a sensational tasting. So as we release this video now, there's only 5 tickets left, so I think they're going to go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Jose, thanks for coming out and joining us here on the 10th edition of the Cellar. Here's to 10 more, many more. We love being able to bring out some things and showcase them to everyone, so we'll definitely keep it rolling, and it's been fun, and we're looking forward to more cellars to come.
More many cellars.
For sure. All right.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.